Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Wednesday, the 20th of March. The Finance Minister is saying thanks but no thanks to tax advice from the IMF. The International Monetary Fund's annual report on New Zealand's economy says overall GDP growth is expected to slow this year but bounce back in 2025. It's also recommended the government implement a comprehensive capital gains tax as well as a land tax. But Nicola Willis is not interested.
That's something the IMF says just about every time they issue a report. There are some things that are certain in life, death taxes, and the IMF recommending a CGT. Our government will not be introducing a capital gains tax. We do not have a mandate for that.
The Leader of the Opposition has launched a scathing attack in the House on changes to disability funding. The Ministry for Disabled People is introducing limits on how disabled people can spend their support budgets. Minister-in-charge Penny Simmonds claims carers have taken advantage of the broad criteria to pay for things like massages. But Labour's Chris Hipkins says getting physiotherapy when you're lifting someone every day isn't unreasonable.
I don't think that a Minister for Disability Issues should be belittling the parents who are accessing those very supports. Talk about punching down.
Intense competition in retail has forced the Warehouse Group to sell off parts of its business. It's announced a $23.7 million net loss in the 6 months ending January. It says it plans to sell or close online shopping website The Market. The company sold its outdoor chain Torpedo 7 in recent weeks for just $1. Deputy Herald business editor John Weeks says they'll be focusing on their core brands.
They have an existing product on their app and their website, and they're going to try and focus on that.
Meanwhile, the Commerce Commission is standing by a decision not to investigate Sanitarium's move to cut supply of Weet-Bix to the warehouse. This after the warehouse began selling the cereal at a lower price than major supermarkets. The Commerce Commission says it found no evidence of anti-competitive purpose. Retail crime continues to climb. Police data shows on average more than 400 retail crimes were reported every day last year. There were also more than 2,000 assaults on retail workers, a 20% increase from 2022. Retail NZ says some workers don't want to go to work for fear of violent and aggressive customers. Chief Executive Carolyn Young says crimes aren't even recorded.
A lot of smaller offences that aren't actually reported to the police. We do advocate to members to report all crimes through to police because that way we know what the true size of the issue is.
Speculation over who will be the next James Bond. British actor Aaron Taylor-Johnson has reportedly been offered the role after Daniel Craig stepped down. ITV's Nina Hossain reports.
Nothing is yet confirmed. If true, Taylor-Johnson will have seen off competition from the likes of Superman Henry Cavill, Irish Oscar winner Cillian Murphy, and the former favourite Idris Elba.
To sport, Highlanders prop Ethan de Groot, Chiefs midfielder Anton Leonard-Brown and Blues centre Rico Ioane have all been ruled out of Super Rugby action this week because they're in head injury assessment protocols. Wellington Phoenix women's coach, Paul Temple, is holding out hope his side can reach the A-League playoffs as they take on Adelaide United in a must-win clash at Porirua this afternoon. Warriors coach Andrew Webster's revealed the club met in the middle with standoff Luke Metcalf when negotiating his 2-year contract extension. I'm Raylene Ramsey. That is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.